Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother, Love Ruthie. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Mother, 1951, Part 63. This is the first part of the original publication, Smallshaw Family Memories Collection, or SFMC number 33, published on February 14th, 1999. Letter from the editor of the SFMC, yours truly. Hi, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Well, we here at the SFMC Publishing House have another super terrific issue of the Dearest Mother, Love Ruthie series. I'm sure you will savor every page. This issue deals with a tremendous achievement for both Ruth and John, as Ruth received her BS degree and John received his law degree and passed the Ohio bar exam. Congratulations, Ruthie and John. The summer of 1951. Ruth had one swell time as she was relieved of the heavy burden of teaching school and taking classes at the same time. And John was home for dinner every night at 6 o'clock p.m. rather than 11 o'clock p.m. during law school days. Ruthie was enjoying keeping house, cooking delicious meals for John, and making their house a home. The Cleveland Indians were having a great year, and Ruthie was a Cleveland Indians fan. Ruthie and John became picnic fiends, enjoying the Cleveland summer. Their friend Ann Duff gave birth to their first child, Mike, and other friends were having children. As Ruthie started her final year teaching, she also was thinking of having children of her own. Enjoy. Take care, everybody. Peter J. Ray. 1560 Luxor Road, East Cleveland, Ohio. June 12, 1951. Dearest Mother and Daddy, as you'll well know, I'm very sorry that you haven't been here with John and me for all the excitement lately. I just loved the snaps and think you look so nice, and Bud's a lucky boy with such a pretty girlfriend. Get together, dear. However, although we'd enjoy sharing with you all these events, it has been so busy, and we'll be able to see much more of you when you visit us later on. My first reaction to your letter that it was too late to make any change of plans was one of disappointment. However, it probably was the wisest decision, and I'll try to tell you about it anyway. I've been very busy too, and hope Mr. and Mrs. Martin's anniversary celebration turned out well. Everywhere I've taught, we've had to stay until noon at least on the last day, and so I was prepared to clean and scrub until noon Friday, when half the teachers with hats and gloves were saying goodbye at 9:30 a.m. Well, believe me, I did some fast cleaning up and was so glad to have the extra time at home. John came home early, about 3 o'clock, with a lovely orchid surrounded by 5 little ones. Well, we took it back for a more modest single one, also very lovely. John said he never had any trouble pleasing a girl with a corsage when he was single. I'm fussy, and he knows what I like, but the florists added the rest. I wore my new black linen dress with the black and white cape. John's mother had a big black hat and green silk print dress, and Anne too wore a big black hat and gold linen dress. We met Anne and Wayne, John's mother and dad, and Dick at the Oak Room for dinner. I had my first boiled lobster. Such work to get so little, but very good. Very nice get-together. Then we went to John's graduation. I was very proud of him. I'm collecting an envelope of programs to send you. It was so cute to hear, "That's my daddy," as some of the fellows went up. John and Wayne were among the younger ones. Quite a sacrifice for some of their families. Then John and I dashed home to change and went to the dance at the Lakeshore Hotel. It was 2 o'clock a.m. when we got home, and 6:30 we had to rise to drive to Oberlin for the wedding. Can't take it like we used to. It was a very nice wedding. Vonnie is a lovely brunette. She'll finish college by Christmas and Freddie by next June. Different colleges, so a difficult separation in the fall. They had a luncheon at the Oberlin Inn where John used to wait tables when he was in college. Very nice. We drove back because John had school. He'd skipped it in the morning. He also had to go 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock on Sunday. I went to my baccalaureate sermon Sunday afternoon, wore our caps and gowns, and were in the procession. Again, Monday afternoon, had a huge procession, about 1,500 of us, and went to the public auditorium for the conferring of honorary degrees, and hear Senator Kefauver. We were on television, too. Because John had to go to school in the evening, he got a fellow in the lab, Jim, who lives at the co-op, and Ada and Shintu to go with me to the Kane Park Theater, Towards the Western Sky by Lynn Riggs, author of the play that Oklahoma was based on. John starts his bar exams in 2 weeks. We'll certainly be glad when they're over and hope he does well. Ted Zook, John's uncle, who is a doctor here in Cleveland, he fixed my back, owns an island in the Georgian Bay and has invited us up when John is through the bar exams. John took 1 week's holiday for the comprehensive, and the first part of the other will go to write the bar. However, John's boss said he could take an extra week, and the fellow in the lab who had the first week of July changed his holiday for John. I thought that was so nice of them. Because I've always wanted to and never seen New York or the New England states, John has agreed to drive to New York after the bar exams and spend a few days in the East, then drive up to Canada and meet Ted and John's mother and go over to the island. They say the swimming and fishing is wonderful up there, so we should enjoy it. John will have to be back on the 9th, but Ted suggested I could stay until John's mother came back on the 16th and come with her. We'll see about that, though, when it comes time for John to leave. We're going to write for tickets for any plays or things we want to see in New York. It sounds like fun. Have you any dates decided as to when you'll come to Cleveland? Have Doris and Bud decided on their holiday time? John's grandmother says she wants you to be sure to visit them in Marion, Ohio. They were so sweet, and I got the nicest congrats graduation granddaughter card from them this morning, and a gold bracelet and perfumer. As a matter of fact, it's been like Christmas around here. We've about 20 cards and several gifts. I was surprised people made so much of graduation. I feel very insignificant getting a little BS degree when you see all the doctors and MAs. All the different hoods make you think of a royal procession. Oh, to have a PhD. Most of the kids plan to go on to an MA or MS, but I think my educational objectives are almost satisfied. When it takes you 9 years to get a 4-year degree, it seems rather prolonged. However, we'll see. I suppose I should feel rather lazy not working or going to school. John thinks after 2 weeks of this loafing, I'll get so bored I'll have to get a job. I'm enjoying the sun, though. Tomorrow I graduate, and then I'll start my house cleaning, and then we'll go away after the exams. Then I'll see how I feel. Should feel good. Oh, we also got another pair of tinted colored photographs from the folks in Marion. Helen, Freddie's mother, paints them of their scenes up at Glen Lake, Michigan, where John and I stopped on our honeymoon. Dick gave me a purse and John golf balls. Carol gave John socks and me hot plate pads. Aunts Nell and Chella Ray sent us some more pearl-handled silver from Long Beach, California, a meat fork, gravy ladle, and cake server, and half a dozen Madeira napkins. John's great-grandparents' things. Glad you enjoyed the trip to Estevan and hope Daddy feels better. Also pleased they and you like your magazines. Maybe the Canadian edition of time is different from ours, but we're disappointed in it. One of my professors had recommended it, and I think it's so Republican and often inaccurate and misleading, although interesting. One issue comes so fast after another, we barely have had time to read them, but time does go fast. I like the New York Times Sunday newspaper better. I'm sending a holiday magazine John's mother gave us. It has a few interesting articles and thought you might like to read it. Cleveland, Wales, etc. My cactus is having so many babies lately, I feel almost like a mother. Your dream about us having a baby was quite a coincidence. Maybe even the same night I had a vivid dream that we had babies popping all over the place. Wishful thinking, I guess. Maybe this time next year we can start planning a family. John beats Bud. He'd like 7 children. If he can support them, I'll have them. Everyone around here has colored help with only 1 or 2 children. I will pray for Marnie. We'll try to send Doreen something else. Made those cookies good. Love to you, John and Ruth. Sunday, 1951. Dearest Bud, this card will be a little late for your birthday, but hope that you had a nice day and will have a happy year. As you can imagine, we're just on the go continually here lately, but so far things are going okay. I just got back from my baccalaureate sermon in Severance Hall. It's a good idea getting used to wearing the gowns and mortar boards and being in a procession. I'm ready for Wednesday. John's graduation went off fine and I was real proud of him. Took in the dance too. He got me a lovely orchid corsage, 1 big one surrounded by 5 little ones, but we took it back and got a single orchid. Very nice. It was much harder to get up at 6 o'clock after getting to bed at 2 o'clock a.m. than it used to be when we were single. However, we had to drive to Marion for Freddie and Vonnie's wedding and luncheon Saturday morning. Then had to drive back for John's classes both yesterday and all day today. We thought he'd have yesterday free, but no such luck. Anyway, in 3 weeks it'll all be over, for a while. We're thinking of driving to New York and then back through Canada to Georgian Bay, where John's uncle owns an island, and stay for a while swimming and fishing. Sounds good. Again, happy birthday, dear. 23? It's amazing, but then I'm getting on too. Love from your brother and sister. 1560 Luxor Road, East Cleveland, Ohio, June 17th, 1951. Dear Mother, Dad, and Bud, thank you for your telegram of congratulations that was here when we came home after a very full day. All the business of graduating is over, and the bar exams loom closer than ever. I'm certainly going to miss John and wonder how he's doing during those 3 days next week. So close. I'm sending a folder of a few of the clippings and some of the programs lately. I'll also enclose some of the colored snaps we had such bad luck with. We wanted to preserve in color the beauty of our spring tulips, but everything intervened. While we took some of Becker's side fairly easily, except for all the passing traffic, the man came to fix our windows just as we were ready. When we returned from shopping, he was still there, and the sun was wrong then too. So we went to Sandusky, and lo, when we got back, most of the tulips had finally given up, after being beautiful for 2 or 3 weeks. We took these anyway in the early morning sun and shadows. Hope our graduation snaps are a little better at 60 cents each. John's at school as per. We hope you'll let us know when you plan to come. As I've mentioned, we're going to New York and up to Georgian Bay after the bar exams and the first part of July. Ada has asked us to drive to Indianapolis for their wedding, and we said we would, providing it didn't interfere with your visit. They've only set the date tentatively as his holidays might be changed. So if you can give us an idea. I got a wedding gift the other day, an electric fan. Very suitable for the weather, but this is a cool house, so doubt if we'll need it. Original, though. Looking for a letter. Love, John and Red. 1560 Luxor Road, East Cleveland, Ohio, June 22nd, 1951. Dear Mother, Dad, and Bud, oh, I feel so good this lovely morning. Apparently it rained all night, now it's just beginning to dry up, and there's such a soft, misty look everywhere, and fresh, sweet smell in the air. First, I want to thank you for your very generous graduation gift to us. It was so good of you, and we do appreciate it. I've already bought some more of my Dearest yesterday. Sometimes I think you appreciate it more when you collect it slowly, piece by piece, as long as it's not too long between pieces, I guess. Something that I've learned is that it's wonderful to be able to get exactly what you want when you're first married. But it's not always best to get everything because your ideas are not always formulated, and you do gradually change some. So far, I like everything that we chose ourselves, and often I wish we were paying on our own home, but I do realize that's something that we're not ready to decide about. I'd like it to be near a lake or river, have lots of trees and a big yard, not right in the city, and I'd like brick and a fireplace and children, of course. With a lot of things to do, here I sit dreaming on paper, and so materialistic too. I finally started my house cleaning, and I think I must be the slowest house cleaner in history in the country. For 3 days I've only done my kitchen cupboards and stove. I've been quite thorough, but still. Today I'll do the walls and tables and chairs. I have enough cleaning supplies, a bottle or can for every different surface. I'm having a wonderful time. Sometimes I feel guilty for not working at a paying job, but it's so nice being home. There is only tonight left for John to go at school. Only 4.5 hours of class left tonight. Last night they had an extra long session, and it was 11:30 before he got home, midnight before supper was over. It's such a shame. Wayne has been sick all year, temperature of 101 degrees. He's had to go to work, but has missed school. Certainly hope he feels better by next week. John feels that Wayne is missing valuable class time. For the past, while it's been so intensive that they don't take notes but only sit and listen, concentrating to get as much as they can of the review. They'll leave Monday morning and get back Thursday night. I'll be lonesome and wondering how they're doing. We plan to leave Friday for New York. John has planned the nicest wedding anniversary gift, August 19th to the 23rd or so. His law fraternity is having its national convention here, and among the events are dinner on the 19th and a $20 formal dinner and dance on the 20th. A buffet supper with the Cleveland Indians and ball game after. I believe the packet of events will be around $45. I think it's nice, an anniversary celebration, and I'm looking forward to it. I would like to know when you plan to come. I got my final mark in American government, an A, which gives me a 2.23 average. A 2.2 average is cum laude, with honors for my work here. However, although I thought it would be, when I asked them about it, they explained that because I transferred some of my work from Canada, they couldn't use the grades from there to equate them with those here. Hence, no honors. Editor's note, that's terrible. John and I have agreed on one thing. So many kids get out of high school and are either uncertain about what they want to do or where to go. The advice John gave his cousin when we were at Freddie's wedding I thought was so sound. Choose or decide as best you can what you want to do, and then pick the best school in the country for that field. And do the very best you can. So many think there are problems when all it's taken is will and effort. It's so easy to drift on for years and then wake up and you're older and haven't accomplished what you could. If John and I had it to do again, he'd have chosen Harvard Law School, and I'd have gone to Cornell or Queens or McGill if I'd stayed in Canada. I still wish Bud would choose a good school and get some. Auntie Norma will be visiting you now. So nice for you. Say hi to her for me. Remember when she suggested I finish school before I got married? I'm very glad I took her advice. You can do both if you cooperate. Thank you again for being so good to us at graduation. Love, John and Ruth. To be continued. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Good luck to you with your efforts in family history if this interests you, finding, preserving, and sharing old letters, diaries, and photographs, and interviewing elderly relatives while they're alive. You might consider checking out our website, Adventures in History with Peter J. Ray, peterjray.com. So far, we have made 576 history videos in 7 areas: world history, American history, book reviews, poetic tours, Cleveland baseball, family history, and autobiography. You also might consider checking out our podcast, Adventures in History, which you can listen to on Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcasts, and Radio Public. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care. And I'll see you next time.